What's up, my comic comrades, and welcome to Villains Month here on Variant. This is one of our favorite times of year, and there's no better character to lead off with than the clown prince of crime, the Joker. Especially with Joaquin Phoenix returning this week to reprise his role as the clown prince of crime in Todd Phillips' Joker Folie à Deux. The reactions to the movie are pretty polarized so far, but that doesn't change the fact that when it comes to comic book villains, the Joker is top dog. So today we're reaching back into comic history to bring you one of the most powerful versions of the Joker to ever hit the pages of a comic, really one of the most powerful characters ever, and that is Emperor Joker. For the uninitiated, Emperor Joker is a Joker who stole Mr. Mxyzptlk's powers, thus making him incredibly powerful, having the reality warping abilities of a fifth dimensional imp. The story took place through all the Superman titles back in 2000, starting with Superman 160. It's a great story that gives us the most OP version of the character ever, so let's get into it. The story starts with us seeing Superman incarcerated and him breaking free from his chains in an homage to the iconic Superman 1 Neil Adams cover. At this point, Supes flies through his cell wall, making a break for it, but Calendar Man alerts Warden Grundy saying he's escaped again. Grundy picks up a red phone and dials while saying as long as Superman can leap tall buildings in a single bound, there's only one man who can stop him. And we see the person he's referring to and calling is Bizarro. Bizarro then catches up with Superman and the two start battling as Superman says, "I won't go back to prison, Bizarro. Not now, not ever." Bizarro eventually uses his fire breath to send Superman flying through a building, landing right in front of someone. Soup says, "Help me. I know you've got weapons that can stop Bizarro. It's what you do." Then on the next page, we see it's Lois Lane who replies, "Why would I help the most wanted criminal in Metropolis?" Bizarro then comes flying in, tackling Superman and taking him back to Warden Solomon Grundy. Then at the very end of the issue, we see Lois Lane is bald and wears a wig, essentially being this world's Lex Luthor, which is why she sent Supes back to jail. Now, I say this world because clearly things are all mixed up and not how they're supposed to be. You have Calendar Man and Grundy running a prison. Bizarro is now looked at like he's the real Superman. Lois Lane has clearly taken the role of Lex, and we even see Jimmy Olsen say hi to Bizarro as he's flying Superman back to prison, and learn Olsen goes by the name Gravedigger Lad as he stands at the tombstones of Huntress, Nightwing, and Robin, telling us they're all dead. We even see that Aquaman is now a humanoid fish. As we roll into the adventures of Superman 582, we learn Superman has basically been living this day of escaping and getting captured again on loop. We also learn the JLA consists of Poison Ivy and a bunch of other new and random DC characters. It isn't until the end of Action Comics 769 that Mxyzptlk reveals to Superman what's going on. We learn that Mxyzptlk has been luring Superman to him. If you're not aware, Mxyzptlk loves messing with Superman, so much so he comes to Earth every 3 months to mess with Superman as it gives him great entertainment. Just imagine an annoying little brother messing with their older brother purely because they find entertainment in bothering their bro. And the only way Superman can get rid of him or defeat him is by tricking him into saying his own name backwards. He's a great character whose appearance made for some of the best episodes from Superman the Animated Series, and he was voiced by Gilbert Gottfried. After being lured there by Mxyzptlk, we learn that Superman has no recollection of who he is. Annoyed by this, Mxyzptlk says, "Enough of the amnesia routine. Geez, didn't Ignition slap any sense into you? Come over here. After all the magic wasted so far, why be chitsy now?" Remember, as he uses his power to make Superman remember everything, his entire life. As it all comes flooding back to Superman, he says to himself, "I remember all of it. I'm not insane. I'm not insane." Mxyzptlk says, "That's debatable. Didn't you turn down 1,000 years of tonsil hockey with Wonder Woman? Hardly a sane move." Superman just grabs him by the neck saying, "I'm not insane. I remember everything, especially you, Mixie, from the fifth dimension. Insane prankster, the genie with a gift for making me crazy. Best part, I remember what it takes to break your spells and put things right. One word you're going to say right now." So Mixie says it and follows up with, "That's what you want to hear, isn't it? My name backwards? The key to your sanity?" Superman confused says, "You said it. I didn't even have to trick you. You said the word and nothing happened." Mixie tells him, "That's right, nothing happened. That's why I've been leading you here, calling for help, because the Mixter ain't in charge of his own mojo anymore. I'll give you one guess who's pulling the strings." Then shows Superman, and Superman says, "Dear God, it can't be," with Mixie saying, "Tell that to the guy who reshaped the universe in his image. Tell Emperor Joker." Revealing on the last page of the issue, the Joker has taken Mxyzptlk's power and reshaped the universe in his own image, going by the name Emperor Joker. That's right, somehow the Joker gained Mixie's powers and is the reason Superman has been living this Groundhog Day of sorts in a world where everything has changed. Like Lois being Lex, Bizarro being the one arresting Superman, and so on. And we learn exactly how this all happened in Emperor Joker issue 1. But before we see what happens next, Halloween is one of our favorite times of the year here on Planet Variant, and it has officially begun. In fact, I'm currently making my way through all the Friday the 13th films, but there's nothing quite like finding the perfect costume for All Hallows Eve, and that's where today's sponsor, HalloweenCostumes.com, comes in clutch. They have a larger costume selection than any Halloween store in the industry. I'm talking about over 10,000 costumes and accessories available in sizes sizes from infant to 8X. That's enough to make you freak out, man, which I guess isn't surprising. I mean, their name is literally HalloweenCostumes.com. Seems pretty self-explanatory, yeah? The point is, HalloweenCostumes.com has quality and budget-friendly options for everybody, whether you're busting ghosts at Halloween or just making a unique fashion statement at an office party. They also partner with top licensors like Disney, Hasbro, Sony, and Paramount to create most of their designs in-house, so they have a ton of shiny and unique costumes you won't find anywhere else. I'm talking trending costumes from fan-favorite franchises like Deadpool, Beetlejuice, Alien, X-Men, DC, and just about anything else you could think of. On top of that, they ship worldwide, so suck on that, other corporations we won't name. And did I mention they got amazing Halloween decorations as well? Like our friend Carl over there. Yeah. They do. They're also open year-round, so let's say you're looking to properly represent at an upcoming anime con, they got you, fam. But look, all this talk is making me hungry, so just check out HalloweenCostumes.com and see for yourself. And if you click our link in the description below, you'll automatically get 15% off your entire cart. But jump on it because that coupon is only valid until November 1st, 2024, so don't wait till the clock strikes midnight. Click our link in the description now and give the villagers something to scream about. Okay, jumping back to Emperor Joker, on the third page of Emperor Joker issue 1, we see the Joker sitting on a throne with a crown, dressed like the Emperor he is. As we see Harley Quinn by his side, who he calls his babe-in-waiting, Lex Luthor, who's his jester, and Bizarro and the JLA he created. The Joker is quite literally ruling the universe now with his newfound reality-altering powers. The powers of Mixie. Midway through the issue, Mixie breaks down how exactly Joker gained his incredible power. You see, he tells Superman, "Stop me if you heard this one before. I am an imp from the 5th dimension. I used to drop in every 90 days or so to drive you mad. Those were the good old days. We'd have some laughs at your expense, play some games like you tricking me to say my name backwards, and I'd get sent home. Over and over again. Well, I don't know about you, but there are just so many times you could lead a horse to water and teach an old dog new tricks. In other words, I got bored. Suddenly, I had this brilliant idea. Well, at least it sounded good on paper. I went off to see the Joker in his home away from home at Arkham Asylum. The fact that they moved him to the slab in New York should have tipped me off that this was not gonna go well. But I'm a never say die kind of guy, and I pressed on. Now, the Joker had made a career out of making Batman baddies, so I figured, just for laughs, what if I gave him my powers and sent him loose on your world? You know, see how somebody else would do at my job. Look, I'm not an idiot. I plan on giving him a little of my power, like 1%. That's when I learned that just because the Joker is insane doesn't mean he isn't smart. He tricked me into revealing my secret name, which every imp has, and in doing so, he took 99.9% of my power. So maybe I'm an idiot. About 69 seconds later, he remade your world in his image and stuffed me in a closet on the moon. And we all lived unhappily ever after without commercial interruptions. Superman, after hearing this, says, "I have to admit, even for you, this is hard to believe. You've never been all powerful. How could the Joker be?" Mixie replies, "I actually grasped the concept that if you obliterate reality, there's nobody left to play with. The Joker, however, doesn't care. He's a homicidal maniac. I could promise you this, the longer the Joker has my powers, the more comfortable he becomes with it, until sooner than you think he'll be able to dominate all time and space. But if what you want to do is sit around Boogerville, Kansas watching the corn grow, doubting me," Superman then interrupts saying, "We get your point." Realizing that if they're going to stand any chance against Emperor Joker, they're gonna need help, like Aquaman and Wonder Woman. Lois says, "Those villains?" Superman tells her, "They were once the world's greatest heroes, Lois, and they can be again." Okay, since Mixie just broke down how powerful Emperor Joker is, let's talk about it a little bit. Superman, even at first, is doubting the story because he doesn't believe the Joker could remake the world in a matter of seconds. Telling Mixie, "You've never been all powerful. How could the Joker be?" And Mixie breaks it down saying, "That's because I grasp the concept that if you get rid of everyone, there's nothing left for me to play with." But the Joker doesn't care about that. He's just a homicidal maniac, and the longer he's comfortable with my powers, the more powerful he becomes. So he'll be able to dominate all space and time. Just think about that for a second. All space and time. Let's go through some of the stuff he's already done midway through this exact issue. We actually find out that the Joker wiped out the People's Republic of China. Not only did he wipe them all out, he then proceeded to eat all their skulls out of a Chinese takeout container with chopsticks as he's laughing and burping. That's over 1 billion people that he just obliterated in an instant and then proceeded to eat. But it doesn't end there. We see the Joker use his insane reality warping powers to also completely change the Justice League, which we kind of already knew, but Mixie breaks it down to Superman in front of what used to be the Hall of Justice, which is now the Hall of Jerkos. First, we see Aquaman, who he turned into a humanoid fish. The son of a fish and human woman was unable to go into water, making him a parody of himself. The book says the Scourge of the Seven Seas. We also see that Wonder Woman was raised to fear all men, and she uses her insane power to make herself feel guilty about being a criminal and a woman. That's right, the Clown Prince of Crime turned Wonder Woman into the complete opposite of what she stands for and represents, making her nothing more than a housemaid who fears men. We see the Flash is extremely overweight and loves eating junk food. In fact, Wally West Flash wasn't able to say no to sweets and was struck by lightning while cheating a vending machine out of a box of Milk Duds. He now uses his incredible speed to eat all the fast food he can, but gets winded because of it and even starts wheezing, earning himself the nickname The Flab, the fastest fat man alive. But we're not done. The Joker rearranged more Justice League members, making them absolutely ridiculous like Martian Manhunter. He is now the sole survivor of his Martian race, and he's only 3 feet tall. But he overcomes his Napoleon complex with his shape-shifting powers. He's also dressed very similarly to Marvin the Martian from Looney Tunes, which is clearly no accident. There's Plastic Man, who was caught in a credit card device, so Joker gave him the ability to turn into any credit card or ATM card he wanted, giving us a whole new meaning to the name Plastic Man. And lastly, we have Green Lantern. A strange alien would give Kyle Rayner a magical yellow paper lantern that turned him into a yellow paper lantern. So Emperor Joker is so powerful, with a single thought, he was able to change the Justice League into ridiculous parodies of themselves without them able to remember who they really once were. But when Mixie gets done telling Superman about those 6 heroes, Superman asks, "What about Batman? You haven't told me what happened to Batman." Mixie just ignores him and says, "We should get going. Every second we waste, the Joker grows more and more powerful." However, we do see that the Joker has killed the Robins, as we already knew when Jimmy Olsen, aka Gravedigger Lad, was looking at their tombstones. But we see the Joker literally playing cards with Dick Grayson, Tim Drake, and Jason Todd's corpses. Jason Todd's corpse even has a sign around his neck that says, "Why didn't anyone call to save me?" And that right there tells you how damn powerful Emperor Joker is. If you don't know what I'm talking about, when the now iconic Death in the Family storyline first came out, comic fans were asked to call in and vote on whether or not DC Comics should kill Jason Todd or save him. Majority voted for him to die, so they ended up having him killed off infamously by the Joker with a crowbar. So the fact that the Joker put this sign around Jason Todd's corpse demonstrates this dude is so powerful, he is aware they are fictional characters in a comic book. His knowledge exists outside of the actual story itself. Dude, Emperor Joker is such a threat. Darkseid went to several of the most powerful beings in the DC universe, such as Ganthet, a guardian of the universe, the Wizard Shazam, Highfather, freaking Zeus, and Phantom Stranger being like, yo, Joker now has possession of the anti-life equation. This is a real problem. So needless to say, we all have a mutual interest in the safety of the cosmos. You know what will happen if the Joker realizes its true potential. We need to work together and stop him somehow. But unfortunately for Darkseid, it's too late, as Emperor Joker already got to them and warped their brains, telling us Emperor Joker is top dog in DC if he easily lobotomized the Wizard Shazam, Zeus, Highfather, Phantom Stranger, and Ganthet, with Darkseid being no threat to him either. They shouldn't call him Emperor Joker, they need to call this guy Game Over Joker. But remember earlier when Superman asked Mixie about Batman? Well, we find out in the Adventures of Superman 583, Joker kills Batman every night only to resurrect him and kill him again with a horde of zombie clowns who overpower and murder him. As Batman himself says to Superman, "I've reached the point where I've come to doubt my own existence. Every night he's done this to me. Every night I've died only to be resurrected so he can begin the torture again. Same thing over and over. I fight them, use every ounce of will and strength, but it doesn't do any good." So of course, now that the Joker has the power of a god, he kills and resurrects Batman every day on an endless loop so he can live a tortured existence, which is a punishment worse than death. That's crazy. Eventually, Superman being Superman does what he does best, and that's inspire. He inspires the Justice League, who's been altered by the Joker, to remember who they once were. Now, by Action Comics 770, Mixie has a chat with Superman yet again, telling him, "Superman, you're not thinking. Joker could obliterate you with a thought, but he doesn't. Why not? Torment, fun, rules. What are his rules?" Essentially telling Superman, look, he could blink you out of existence, but he doesn't because he probably abides by certain rules. Figure out his rules and beat him. And this is 100% correct, because even Mixie had a set of rules to get rid of him, tricking him into saying his name backwards. This leads to Superman ultimately figuring out that the Joker can't kill Batman because the Joker is nothing without Batman. He can't exist without him. So he tells this to the Joker, saying, "You think you have control, no rules apply, but even as a god, Batman still has power over you. Why haven't haven't you erased him yet? Maybe you can't. Joker replies, or maybe it's more fun using him as my personal chew toy. Or maybe I was waiting until the big finale, at which point he gets rid of Batman and kills him once and for all. But he realizes it doesn't work as he sees Batman is still there, literally nailed to the planet Uranus. Joker gets upset and confused by this, saying, why is there a dead Batman clinging to Uranus? There is no Batman. I will it. I will him to be gone, forgotten, be dead, be bopped forever. But it still doesn't work. Batman keeps popping up over and over again. Superman says, even with the universe at your whim, you can't do it. You can't get Batman out of your head. Can't erase him because he's just too big. Bigger than you'll ever be. Joker says, no, I'm a god. He's a type A in a fancy dress. Batman does not rank. See? Gone. Sent him to the cornfield. Off to the races. I still got it. But Batman pops up yet again, with Superman saying you can't do anything because it's his world. You're just an annoyance in it. So ultimately, Superman causes Joker to realize he can't erase his obsession with Batman, even as a god, and it's ultimately what causes him to lose his powers and then go back to Mixie with him restoring the universe. However, even with the universe set back to normal, Batman is in a broken, traumatized state, not being able to shake the countless deaths and torture Joker put him through. So when Superman realizes that Bruce will not be able to function as Batman like this, he asks Spectre to get rid of those memories so he can be Batman once again. Spectre tells him, I can't. All I can do is transfer them to another being. Superman, being the good friend that he is like, fine, transfer them to me. I'll carry the burden. And the issue ends with the Joker being locked up in Slab Prison in New York City. And just like that, friends, we have the story of Emperor Joker, by far the most powerful version of the Joker to ever exist. Dude was even aware he was in a comic book and could alter all of reality with a single thought. The only way to beat him is to trick him into doing something he couldn't do, which was getting rid of Batman, which led to him losing his power. But what do you guys think? Do you like Emperor Joker? Did you like the story? Let us know in the comments. And other than that, we will see you next time when we talk about all things comics.
You can take it to the bank. Hold the line. Hey, you know we on the way. All the time. Yeah, we do this every day. On the rise. You can watch me elevate.